Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Lily and today we are off to Naidex Disability Show in Birmingham, so let's go. Naidex, so we are in for our badges and it looks really good, so let's go. So you can pick up a show guide when you get in here. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
So we're currently with the lovely Amy. Want to say hello? Hello.
With the lovely Lily.
Yeah. And Bob, well, Denise and the mums there too. If you follow Amy on TikTok, you would have seen her and her carer Bob doing this thing we were trying to do. So as you see, we just met the lovely, lovely Amy and Bob. Her name's actually Denise, and her mum, which was lovely. I like what they've done here. So I seen this attachment that attaches onto a manual wheelchair, which turns it into a electric wheelchair, and it was on the Recare stand, and I just said to the guy I'm interested in it because I really want to get something like this for my manual chair, because it'd be really good for like going in the car and days out and stuff like that. So here he was just showing me how to detach it from a manual wheelchair to transport in the car. And then afterwards he let me have a go at doing it myself, which was pretty cool. So let's fast forward to that. And now it's my turn to put it on the manual wheelchair, making it into a electric wheelchair. So I'm just going to speed this up a little. Right, well, time for a little. So I did actually attach the rest of it, but I didn't get it on film. But here I am on spin. It does, yeah. I like that. Yeah.
It joins ringing. Just joins ringing.
That's really lovely. And then.
Thank you. I now have a 30-second question for each one of you, starting with Lara, going down. The UK Department for Transport is currently running the Task and Finish group, which is a group that has been tasked to find the gaps and deliver solutions and closing those gaps. Where do you see accessibility in aviation in the UK? Let's talk about the UK first. 5 years down the line. Lara, 30 seconds.
I think as a result of this group's work, there's a really focused approach on exactly where the gaps are. And there's a huge number of recommendations. They'll consolidate that down, and I think there'll be a roadmap out of all the issues that we need to be addressing.
Positive outlook?
Yeah, I think very positive.
John?
And for me, in 5 years' time, I would like to see all customers who travel with disabilities feeling confident about travelling, having choice, and taking on the world.
Wallace?
For me, I think having a unified approach to disability awareness is a big hope of mine for the next 5 years, as well as much more understanding around the variety of disabilities and the different needs that people have in order to travel and obviously accommodate.
So as a wheelchair traveller myself, so a person with blind lived experience, I would like to travel in 5 years and have no issues whatsoever. And so in the next 5 years with CAA, I really hope that they support me in allowing me to the areas where I see there's still barriers, and they support me now to remove those.
So I have a final question, and I will start with Emily. This is a bit the elephant in the room. Training. Are training standards meeting expectations, or can they be improved? And what is your role as Civil Aviation Authority, as airline, as a global association in promoting better training if it's required? Emily, 30 seconds.
I think, yes, it can be improved. I think as a regulator in ourselves, we just have to make sure we keep the airlines and airports really online with compliance, to be honest. But yes, I think there's always room for improvement. always.
Wallace.
I don't know if many of you are aware or not, but in aviation, there is a lot of regulation around a lot of things. Lara did reference a few of them earlier. And we do have guidance from a number of sources about what training we need to provide based on the role that any of our employees have. But what we've noticed is those requirements were put in place a long time ago, and whilst they give great headlines of what needs to be covered, they don't really give the meat on the bones. So that's where I think the improvement needs to happen, and I'm confident that it can.
Yep. For me, training is absolutely fundamental. It's probably number one out of everything. We can have the best products in the world, but if our colleagues don't understand and empathize with all of our customers, then you're never going to enjoy your flight. So for me, it's about having consistent training, and most importantly, that we have lived experience brought into that.
So after the talk on the aviation, we went round a few more stands and we seen these Shetland ponies. There is so much here to see and do. It's absolutely crazy. So we went past a stall and this woman was given free sort of like brow tasters with the accessible makeup. She said it stays on for 24 hours and that is really good for, you know, people with disabilities that might struggle to keep reapplying their makeup. I didn't buy any, but I looked really good after and she's done a really good job. Next year I might consider buying some. We then saw this accessible van which had a lift on it, which I thought was pretty cool. That is a very glamorous walker. So this stand was Neo Walk. They do colourful walking aids.
Any questions? I am the photographer, but I know quite a lot.
Oh, okay.
If not, look for the guys in pink.
Okay.
And they're the experts.
Yeah. Wow.
Very nice, aren't they?
They are. They're very beautiful.
Yeah. Feel free to grab one if you want to have a mess around or a feel.
Oh, I have a feel of that one.
So different lengths. So if you like the guys to measure you, and you can try out the perfect length stick for you.
Oh, perfect.
Or you can try out, we've got different handle shapes as well, so you can kind of see what handle shape might feel better for you. You know,
yeah.
like the C handles are a bit thicker than the other handles that we've got.
Yeah, probably the curved handle.
Curved one, yeah.
I could go out. That makes difference, that, compared to that. That's
absolutely, yeah.
More comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite cool. Yeah, it feels quite good.
This is going to feel flat too.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I like her. Look at the design on it.
Yeah, right. So.
Like a delusion. So they have plenty of accessible toilets. So we were at a stand and they were giving away one of their free coffees. So I thought, why not? So just come back, waiting to go on the time and walk. I can't go on because it's maximum 100 kilo weight. And I'm over that. And so Luke's going to go on it and I'm going to film him going on there. But yeah, it's a really good show. A bit overwhelming with the amount of wheelchair traffic, but it's good. It's good to meet others, you know. I'm enjoying it. So the show guide does actually have a floor plan in it, which is really good. And also it has an A to Z in it as well, so you can easily find who you want to see as well, which is brilliant. There is literally so much here. I've just met another person as well who I follow, which was lovely. So, yeah, let's go explore a bit more.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again for being here. If you were in the last session, we were talking about assisted dying, and now we're completely flipping the script and we're talking about the influence of Blueprint. And I am joined today on stage with Lucy Edwards and Amy Cole. My visual description, just to start off with, I'm a South Asian disabled woman. I have a short stature. I'm wearing a long floor jacket and grey jeans and trainers. And yeah, we're going to get into the ins and outs of influencing, the mystery behind it. I too want to know all the tea. So I hope you both are up for sharing. But Lucy, let's come to you first. You want to introduce yourself and then we'll go to Amy. Amazing. So, hello everybody. I'm Lucy Edwards. My pronouns are she, her. My visual description is I'm wearing a black cami and black pinstripe trousers. And I think I've got my pink and green gazelles on. Yes. That's probably being the blind girl. I'm like, oh, what am I wearing? I need to remember. Yeah, thank you, honey. And then you can find me online. I'm a content creator. I'm also a broadcaster. And I'm creating my own accessible makeup line, which we are going to hear more about, and which I'm so excited to hear more about. But thank you, Lucy. Amy?
My name's Amy Paul. I am a white woman, wheelchair user. I'm currently sat in my manual wheelchair with like purple highlights on. And I have brown hair with, it needs redoing, but blonde balayage. And I'm wearing a blue flower dress with a brown jacket. And I can't see my feet and I can't remember what's on.
Black trainers.
Black trainers. Yes, love it. And I am a content creator. It says on here that I'm a disability activist as well, and I love it. But I don't throw paint and I don't lie in roads.
Not yet.
Not yet. After the other day, maybe.
Yes. It just be good to get a sense from our audience. Do you already currently follow Lucy or Amy? If you want to indicate, yeah. Oh, we've got a lot of hands. We've got a lot of hands raising. Okay, wonderful. And if people don't, where can they find you online? What are your handles?
Yeah, so my handle is at Lucy Edwards.
And I wish they were taken when I tried to do them, so they're different. On TikTok, it's at Amy E. Paul. And on Instagram, it's at Amy_Paul. But generally, if you type in Amy Paul, they come up somewhere. But it's POHL.
Thank you. And look, I don't have time to be a content creator, but you can also follow me. I post a lot about my grandmother, my obsession for EastEnders, and a lot about disability rights and activism. And I am just at Shani Dunder.
You are a content creator. Yeah, you do content.
I am, but I ain't got the time for it. I'd love to.
Make really good content.
Thank you. Well, look, let's get into it. Tell me, how did you both start, and was it intentional? Because you're telling me I'm one. I've never set out to be one, and I find it a bit of a chore. So, Amy, let's start with you. How did you get into it?
Oh my. So I was sat this morning eating my banana, panicking about this question, because I was like, how on earth did I get into it? And to be honest, it just happened.
I would always say to my followers, like, how do I wash my hair? And I'd be standing in the shower, usually fully clothed, actually. I didn't turn it on, so I didn't get wet. But I would put an elastic band around my shampoo, because there's been so many times where I've just used conditioner burst instead of shampoo, to say they really liked how you described your hair. Do you want to be the face of Pantene? So yeah, like it was so crazy. Which is crazy, but yeah, I think honestly, like, you don't even understand how much social media has changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky.
And look, I remember I saw your Pantene advert, because first I wasn't looking at the TV, but I recognised the voice. I was like,
Fellow Brummies.
voice. It's a Brummy, and I looked and it was Lucy.
Literally, fellow Brummies. We got to represent now.
Honestly, obviously I know you, but I loved the ad. I was obsessed with it, and I just thought, I never in my life would I ever have thought I would have seen a blind woman advertising shampoo.
Yeah. So
And
cool, isn't it?
Why did I think that? And two, why not?
No, so true. And the fact that, like, the team even were like, no, let's take your comments that you said to us in that initial, like I said, it's about the way it feels to me. It's like how it feels inside, and they literally had that as the voiceover. So
honestly, it was
super cool.
fantastic.
You do have the most beautiful hair.
Thank you.
You know, thank you both for sharing those highlights and positives. But I think we all know social media isn't all rosy and all, you know, fun and games. How do you deal with negative comments, trolls, like, I'm going to be honest, there's a hierarchy in the way in which I get trolled. You know, first people talk about my ethnicity, I get a lot of Islamophobic hate, and I'm not Muslim. Irrespective of that, it's still wrong. People, you know, tell me I shouldn't even be in this country. And then the next thing is that then they talk about my disability. And then if they ever get round to it, my gender. So for me, I've noticed that level of trolling. Tell me how you both deal with this. And one, first, do you even get it? And secondly, if so, how do you deal with it?
Firstly, I'm so sorry you experienced that. It's not right and it shouldn't happen. But for me, at first, it just took one negative comment and my whole day was ruined. I took all of them to heart, all of them personally. I didn't think, well, maybe that person's struggling or they're just trying to get a reaction. Most of the time I would comment back and say, like, this isn't right, why are you saying this? And they'll say, oh, I'm your biggest fan, I can't believe you replied. Well, a moment ago you were wishing me to be gone. Really? So yeah, it just makes no sense. But now I've kind of flipped it, and I think when I suddenly on a video start getting lots of negative comments, that's how I know that video has gone viral. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like it's kind of a good thing. Yeah. I'm getting out there. I'm getting to these other groups of people, the people that don't always necessarily follow me. Yeah. I do have a therapist who I love. Most of the time we just chat about what's on the TV, but I pay for her, so I have a good time. But I think it's really, really hard. And if you don't think you could deal with that, you can do things like have your comments turned off. You can have moderators. You can block people. I love that block person. I've got so many people on my blocked list. But do you have anything to add, Lucy?
No, other than like, honestly, when I see the word Pennywise, I'm like, yeah, it's gone viral. I'm so with you. A lot of people comment on like how I'm not looking, look over here, love, sort of thing. But I think a lot of the time as well, because me and my husband are going through a fertility journey in the next few months. I've spoken about it openly, and a lot of the time there is masses and masses of comments that have gone in spam filter, thank goodness, but about sterilizing me and that I shouldn't be a mother. Yeah, massive kind of hate. Yeah, I think that's why it fuels me to do it more though. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna post about being a mother even more. I don't know. I just don't see them as valid. I'm just like, right, I think what has allowed me to switch off is having a different phone. Yeah, also knowing that like these are our proper human connections. Yeah, that's what like you guys are saying, humans. Like I'm going to talk to my husband, talk to you, lovely lot, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem as real in my comments. And that sounds horrible to be that disconnected, but that's the only way to compartmentalize. Yeah, I think that really makes sense. You need to be able to switch off from it, right? But look, you gave us a bit of a hint there on something practical. Can you share any other tips for anybody else who might be interested in your process, your secret sauce? Any tips and like even like how to approach this? So Lucy, you shared you have a separate phone. I love that. I might need to do that. I want to do right. But any other tips like? Do you have to have a perfect background to start filming? Do you need to have somebody else filming for you? How do you make your content accessible? Anything, any tips you've got? Okay, so no, like honestly, some of the videos that I have filmed and like painstakingly edited and me and Ollie have taken hours on, they haven't done very well. And some that I've gone like, hi guys, blah, 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 they've gone viral. So there's no there's no really secret sauce, but Trello boards are everything. I love my Trello. Also the fact that it sounds weird, but like thinking of yourself as a brand before you go in. I have 5 pillars of my brand, and I know that every day of the week I post 5 times a week. Yeah, and each I make sure to like circle around content every 2 weeks to know that like I'm doing lifestyle, I'm doing travel, I'm doing fashion, I'm doing fertility. I know that all of these different things have to be ticked off for my 2 weeks, just to know that like everyone knows I'm still talking about all of those things, and this is what I'm about. And so they know to expect that from you. Exactly. That makes sense. So do you and your husband
Do you edit your own videos or do you get someone else to do that?
Yeah. So at the start, because I trained at the BBC and stuff, I'm really lucky in that I learned how to edit on my own on Final Cut Pro, even as a blind person. But even that, I would have an access worker kind of look over it and put some Astons on the screen, so like graphics per se. Although like I'm really good at editing audio, so I do have a background in that. So I would sit. I know where the light source is, and you can control different lighting. I can go more into it another time, but basically, as long as you're not like putting the light behind you and like making you shadow it, I used to have to sit in one place, line myself up, always have the tripod in a certain place, click go, and be able to edit it myself. It was a sit down video. Now it's progressed, and obviously, I'm really lucky that my TikTok took off, and then like it grew and grew and grew, and I've been able to. Me and my husband now co-own the business, and he doesn't have to work full-time at a different job and different stuff. So basically, my long story short is that I do have a team now, but it hasn't always been that way, and you can do it.
Thank you. And Amy, any tips for you?
Honestly, I don't have a secret sauce. I wish I did. I just post and hope for the best.
Love that though.
But I do have, I only started it recently just because I wanted to have a bit more of a work-life balance, which I still don't really have. I think because I'm on social media all the time, it's on my phone, which is a really good idea of yours to have 2 phones, because my friends always message me and say, you work on social media, you're on the phone all the time, why haven't you replied?
Yeah, same.
Literally.
Yeah, it's like the last thing I want to do, after a busy day. But in terms of secret sauce, most of the time, the video that I don't think is going to do very well does really well. So if you're going to learn something from that, if you have a video in your drafts, why not post it?
Yeah, I love that. I found that too, actually. Like the most random, chaotic videos that I never set out to create, or I've just captured it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll just post this and see what happens.
Yeah.
And actually, being truthfully honest, people only follow me for my grandmother's content, my Vivi.
I love her.
Everyone's always asking about her. And again, I never set out to do that. I just posted it, right? I wish I had time to make her own account. But my last question to you both is: are there any apps or tools that you recommend? I know, Lucy, you recommended Trello, and then we're going to open to floor for questions. Any apps that you recommend, or
what is Trello? Trello is like this little notice board that's quite accessible, and you can like put little pins almost, like little note pages. So I do it for like book ideas and anything that I've got in my brain. I'm just brain dump it. I guess you could use like memos on your phone.
I do the same. I'm really old school. I do it with post-it notes and stick them all over my fridge. And hope that one day I will get that ticked off. I'm still not going in there a while.
Yeah. I love AI. Do you use AI?
Occasionally, if I have a really bad caption, I put it in ChatGPT and I'm like, can you improve this? And then it does it and I'm like, wow.
Cool. Well, I think also the reason that I say that is because I was at a YouTube conference last week in Zurich, and the amount of stuff that people are now using with AI, like SEO tools, like search engine optimization, learning that like Google's got Gemini, and you can like download like your YouTube statistics on a Excel file. And then plug it into Gemini, and it will tell you like when people are logging on, when's the best time to post, this, that, the other. So AI is doing a lot more, and I just wanted to bring it to the attention.
We definitely need a whole other session on this, don't we?
Yeah, I do. CapCut now.
Yeah,
I
love
the announcement
caption generator.
CapCut's an editing app, right?
Yeah, and they've just put ChatGPT on CapCut to help improve your edits.
Mm-hmm.
So you can ask it like how you could improve something.
That is amazing. I think we need another session on this. Yeah. But let's open it to the floor, and if I can keep questions quite brief, if we have any. Any questions from Amy and Lucy? Oh, there's just one. Oh, there's one on my right and one on the left. Clap your hand and get in.
Hi, I just wanted to ask, mainly Lucy, how do we make content that's accessible for blind people?
I love that.
because I run like a small business and I really want people to be able to visualize what I'm selling.
Great question. Thank you.
Amazing question. Thank you so much. So everyone can be quite scared of audio description, and it's okay. I always do like a little friends can describe. So you do the focal point. When you first look at an image, what do you see? What is the thing that draws your attention to that image? Context, put that image in context, and describe the last little parts, like maybe the color of t-shirts or like backgrounds and stuff. But also, there's ChatGPT. You can upload your image into ChatGPT and it can audio describe it. And it does like a really cool job. Yeah, it's really cool. Actually, apps that I use every day to like take photos of my fridge to tell me expiry dates are actually powered by ChatGPT. It's called Be My Eyes. So yeah, that's that. But I'd say overall, as a whole, audio describe in your description, because there's not, especially with like D&I stuff, unfortunately, like some tools have been taken off different platforms. I won't say which ones, with alt text. So just always make sure that it's in your caption, for videos as well, in your caption. Follow us. I know, Shani, I'm always looking at your captions as well, babe. Like, I love them. And I think, it's just doing your best, like not being scared, just doing it, because we all start somewhere.
Love that. Thank you, Lucy. And I think we had one question just on the here.
Thank you so much. Hi to everyone, and you might not know today is International Day of Happiness. So my question is for the entire guests and panelists is, what's your definition of happiness now and your next step pursue towards happiness in the future?
Oh my gosh, happiness. What is happiness? That is massive, because like I often have spent days in the past where people would look at me and go, she's so happy, she smiles all the time. That wasn't true. It really wasn't true. On the inside, I was not doing well. And I think happiness is looking happy on the outside, but also feeling it on the inside, and being able to achieve things that you want to achieve, make you feel good. Not necessarily make others feel good, but sometimes that makes me happy as well. And yeah, it's really hard. Do you have anything for happiness?
No, I'm with you, babe. I think, at the start of my social media journey, I did put quite a lot of my self-worth on, posting and stats and looking at that and being like, oh, I'm only valid if and or but. But now I think with therapy and a lot of time just thinking about things, and being like quite, I've been on social media for nearly 5 years now, which is crazy, full time. As I said, that other phone has been like paramount to my like success mentally, but also knowing that my North Star is my family. And like, I always have this little vision of my husband chopping cheese at Christmas and having all my kids around us on the island. And I've achieved the island. I just need to achieve the kids now.
Family is so
yeah.
But I used to like have a big pressure on myself to post every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you.
Same.
Like, as I was trying to grow, and it got to that point where I had to tell myself, stop. It is all right if you don't post today.
Stop.
The world is not going to end.
Yeah.
People are not going to unfollow you.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to make a video tomorrow.
And there can be external pressures, knowing who to work with and understanding your self-worth and understanding that suddenly overnight you've grown all these followers and doing all these brand deals and being, the face of things, and knowing that like, it's okay to like have a break. Like there was times where I went 2.5 years without having a holiday. And knowing that like that's not normal and that's not okay. So yeah,
like the word content creator and the word influencer, it puts a lot of pressure on you. It feels like you have a big, powerful voice that you need to put out there, and it always needs to be right. But we can still make mistakes, and we are still learning and growing with our audience every single day.
Yeah. Thank you both so much. I really wish we had more time. But if anybody wants to ask you any questions, are you sticking around? You're around for a bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, please give it up for Amy and Lucy. Thank you so much.
It's been a very long day, and this is the end of the video now as the vlog. I've had an amazing time, and I will definitely be back next year. It's been brilliant to see all the different equipment and the things you can try. But anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. If you did like the video, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.